And the sad part here is that they actually did it to themselves. What's up, guys? John Claymore here, and we got to talk about this teachers union agreement stipulating that white teachers be laid off first. Yeah, this article, of course, this right being Leo Terrell is probably the individual who you're seeing right here with Peter Ducey talking about this. So let's go ahead and kind of react to this really quick, and then we're going to look at the actual article, because this is actually, quite frankly, sad. But then again, at the same time, I do remember the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota, right after the George Floyd thing, they decided to go completely crazy with wokeness. With that there being said, let's kind of roll this and react to it. Ads. I apologize. Let me go ahead and skip this. Okay, here we go.
The Minneapolis School District is facing backlash after a new union contract that, thank you very much, teleprompter person, the contract that would require white teachers be fired first, regardless of seniority. The union claims, quote, "This language gives us the ability to identify and address issues that contribute to disproportionately high turnover of educators of color." Fox News contributor and former public school teacher Leo Terrell is here to react. Leo, I was reading about this, and it said essentially white teachers would be laid off first under this contract, regardless of seniority. Does that seem fair?
No, and it makes no sense. Steve, let me be very clear. Skin color has nothing to do with qualifications. Nothing at all. This is one of these equitable decisions, which is a code for race-based decisions. I was a teacher for 7 years. I never had a parent or a student say, I want a black teacher. I want a white teacher. They want a skilled, experienced teacher.
A good teacher.
And this is nothing more than a race game.
According to the union, what they're trying to do is they're trying to protect underrepresented populations and members of the teaching community.
That is a lie. Let me be very clear, and let's not forget the law. It's unconstitutional, it's discriminatory, it's affirmative action, which is illegal, and it's racist. Steve, besides being a school teacher, I was a civil rights attorney. My whole goal as a civil rights attorney is to eliminate the game of playing the race card. Right. And what you have here is people out in the open playing the race card. And I'd like to see some data that says a kid learns better if they have a teacher that looks like them. They need experienced and qualified teachers, period.
So you were very clear. You just said this was discrimination, clearly.
Yes.
So that means this, I would imagine, this particular new rule for the Minneapolis School Teachers Union is going to be challenged in court.
It's going to be challenged in court, and I'm going to be very clear, it's going to go down the flames, because you can't, it's based on race, violation of the Equal Protection, 14th Amendment. I can do this, I can litigate this case in my sleep. I feel like going to Minneapolis and suing on behalf of those teachers who are being denied a job based on skin color. It is strictly illegal. End of story.
Well, just imagine if you were a teacher, regardless of your race, who had been in that school district for 20, 30 years. It's like, yeah, what's next?
What's next is this is a game. This is the extreme left, Steve. You know, critical race theory, decisions based on skin color. When you hear the term equity, that is a code for race-based decision. And if you were a teacher who's not black or a minority, you are being discriminated against, and your recourse is the courthouse, and you're going to win.
Well, when we saw this story this morning, we knew you would be the expert to talk about it, and you didn't let us down. Leo, thank you very much for joining us from LA on this.
All right, guys, here's the thing. And this right here is really what kind of bothers me about this. The teachers union in Minneapolis, they kind of sort of, how do I say this? They kind of sort of asked for this with the wokeness and the with all the wokeness and all the CRT stuff, especially after George Floyd's death. Now, guys, let me throw this out here, okay? This is not one of these situations, and I know it kind of sounds unempathetic for me to say they kind of did this to themselves, but I remember seeing videos of white people, especially white liberals, which, by the way, this is kind of funny that they're doing this because I actually read an article on this yesterday, and we'll get to that article here in a second, and I will leave it in the description box of this video here, as well as this one right here from Fox News. The thing is this right here. They were talking about if you call the police, it comes from a position of privilege. They were talking about all that type of nonsense there. And my immediate thinking was these people are absolutely insane. They're crazy. They've lost their freaking minds. They've lost the absolute plot. They've literally lost their freaking minds. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that there's a good 50 to 60% of teachers that are white who probably said to themselves, don't let this thing here go too far. By the way, the vast majority of these teachers probably vote Democrat. Now, I'm not saying this to go after teachers. As a matter of fact, I believe that good teachers, regardless of race, by the way, I've had multiple teachers from multiple races. I've had black teachers, I've had Hispanic teachers, I've had women teachers, I've had great teachers. Good teachers can make a difference in a child's life. I mean, it's just the way it is. A lot of people don't like to think about that, but good teachers can, in fact, make an honest-to-God difference in a child's life. I mean, it's really and truly what teachers are designed to do. Now, I can't say anything about teaching today because we're hearing a lot of horror stories, but I'm pretty sure most teachers are still very good at what they do and are actually absolutely interested in helping the child. You do have some wokesters who like to go on TikTok and they want to indoctrinate their kids, but that's one thing. That's just a completely different thing. This is what wokeness does. It completely erodes a society and it creates massive amounts of hate, and eventually it could create massive amounts of social alienation. You see, these teachers are now leaving their jobs saying, I got fired because of the color of my skin. They're probably thinking to themselves, black supremacy. Oh, by the way, there's one bit in the article that, quite frankly, really bothered me. This also goes to show you just how dumb the wokes are. They said that Slavs are protected. Slavs. Aren't Slavs white? Slavs are mostly Eastern European and Russians, and they are white. By the way, aren't we hating on Russia right now? Isn't that kind of like the current thing of the Democratic Party, hate on anything Russian? Well, Slavs are Russians. This right here goes to show you exactly how much, how little these people, how little of brains these people really and truly have. But for me to sit here and say they kind of did it themselves is true, but at the same time, there's a great amount of teachers in this case that, quite frankly, did not want this, who have gotten to suffer because of wokeness and equity. Guys, John Claymore here. I just figured I'd let you guys see what the hell was going on. If you guys like the content, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Also, something else too, make sure you guys leave a comment in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. Let's make this channel grow, and I will see you guys later.
I'm not like everybody else.